Good morning. This is Joe Krutzinger with our monthly update of recalibration. It's a little later this month because we wanted to make sure that you got the rollovers from the June contract, which is M, to the September contract, which is U. Now, the June contract last trading day is June 21st, and that obviously you have to be out of all those contracts by that day. But I suggest you watch the volume between the September and the June contracts before you make your change. In other words, when the volume gets higher on the September than it is on the June, that's when you'd go in and change the M's to the U's. I'll show you a little bit more of that later. Now, this presentation will show all historical simulations. These are not real records, but they are either blind walk forwards or they are performance summaries, but they are not the real-time trading of any real-time account. You can read the disclaimer at your leisure, and you can get a copy of this PDF by just sending me a request PDF to joecrut@gmail.com. The three terms I like to define at all my presentations: first of all, hypothetical, simulated, means the same thing. These are trades that have not been executed. They're generated by a strategy with the benefit of hindsight. Now, whenever you do a recalibration, when you change some simulation numbers, you are getting a new simulated track record. Now, the thing I like to do is just shut the workspace down for a month or 6 weeks, however long I'm going to watch it, and then open it up and see how did it perform on that blind data walking forward. Now, when we show any performance records in this presentation, all of those records are blind walk forwards. Now, they are not real, they're simulated, but they have done without changing any of the inputs since the day that they were optimized. Now, of course, best records are always real records. Actual trades have been filled in exchange. You'll have to look at your own accounts for that and see where you go. Well, here's how I suggest that you determine your rollover. If you notice, I've got 3 symbols for the E-mini S&P, 3 for the NASDAQ, 3 for mini Dow, 3 for the Russell, and 3 for the mid-cap 400. The one I like to have you trade is the one that has a little back data in it, the combination one, and that's the one with the @ sign. Now, currently, if you take a look at the ESU, you'll basically see that the open interest is 2,498,836, whereas the open interest on the September contract is only 227,000. Now, the way TradeStation works is when it rolls over to the U symbol and you use the @ sign in front of it, it picks up all the volume from the current contract. So the thing to watch is the real ESM 19 and the real ESU 19 without the @ signs. And when the volume becomes higher in the one with the U in front of it, that's when you should make your change. And the way you do that is you pull up the workspace you have, you go to Format, Symbol, you change the M to the U, you save the workspace as and put today's date on it and the fact that it's a U contract instead of an M, and then go ahead and change your inputs using the PDF or the movie. Now, if that's beyond any of you, no problem. Give me a call or shoot me an email with your TeamViewer, and I'll be glad to either load up the new workspaces or change your old workspaces, whatever you want to do, and there's never a charge. I'll be glad to do that for you. Now, here are the settings. So if you, for instance, if you have the Russell trading on the shapes, you could pull up that workspace and go File, Save As, and change it to June 13th, 2019, and the September contract. That's what you save as. And then you go in and change the inputs to these inputs, save it once more, and you're ready to trade. If you don't want to take the trouble to get the get the PDF, you can just pull the video up, and when you get to the page, like for this one, Razor Retunes, you can just pause the video and write down the numbers or input the numbers that are the ones you want to use. If you want the inputs for Joe's Best, you'll obviously just notice at the top of some of these columns, like for instance, this is Razor with Ribbons. The number 4 in Joe's Best is NASDAQ Razor with Ribbons. The number 5 is the Mini Dow 1 minute. So if you want Joe's Best, you just have to look at each slide and pick up the values from those columns. Here's the last one. This is bar none. It's not tracked in Joe's Best because it started so much later than the other ones. But these are the current inputs for the September contract for bar none. Here's the blind walk forward on the original three. Shapes, Razor, Razor with ribbons. Shapes made $42.82. Razor lost $23.56. And Razor with ribbons made $52.68. That's roughly about a $7,000 gain. If you would have traded one contract each of these, that'd be 15 contracts. But in the month month and week or whatever it is that it did, that's what that blind walk forward is. Right about $7,000. Here's the blind walk forward on Joe's Best and bar none. You can see that Joe's Best made $69.42, trading one contract of each. That would have been the best group to have traded this month. Almost $7,000 on 5 contracts. Bar none made $2,500 on 5 contracts. And when you look at the total down below, this shows the cumulative of all the records. And we'll spend some time looking at that slide, focusing in on it on the next slide. This cumulative slide is just one way for you to determine which systems are walking forward the best of mine and which markets are working the best for mine. Now, if you look at the market, the worst market this month for my stuff was the E-mini S&P. If you would have traded one contract each of everything in the E-mini S&P, you would only made $160. The best one was the mid-cap 400. One contract each made $10,975. NASDAQ made $465, the Russell $947, and the mini Dow was very good. It made $4,090. The cumulative of all that, if you traded, all 5 times 5, that's 25 workspaces, made $16,637. Now, if you look for the best group to have traded, it would have been Joe's Best. It would have made $69.42 in the line walk forward. The worst group to have traded would have been the Razor system. It would have lost $23.56, trading one contract of each of the Razor system. So, just as a nutshell, best market, mid-cap, best system, Joe's Best. That's it. My main products are ideas, service, and support when you need it. If you ever need help, you can call my office or you can send me an email at joecrutt@gmail.com. If you want me to get on your machine, just go to either TeamViewer or go to my site and pull up a copy of TeamViewer. I can look at version 9 or 14 now, either one, no problem. And I'll be glad to get on your machine, fix anything. That's what I'm here to do. I do offer a trial of all my systems free of charge. If you have a trade station, just use TeamViewer. I'll get on your machine and I'll install everything. You'll get a full 14-day, 100% free trial of the best I've got. No credit card needed. Just be glad to do that. You'll get the blind walk forward test strategies with a 3-month back test for Razor, Razor with ribbons, Shapes, and or bar none. Well, that's it for this month, but it's imperative that you switch to the September contract at the appropriate time. If you have any problems or you don't understand what to do it, email me or call me, and I'll be glad to walk you through that process. My phone number is 913-334-2202. Always have special offers to my clients and all my products. My email is joecrutt@gmail.com, and of course, the website is etrackrecords.com. You can also go to YouTube and just look up Joe Krutzinger. You got to look up how to spell it. Sometimes I do too. And you'll see videos on YouTube that I've done for TradeStation and obviously for you guys. It's also available when you just look under Joe's blog on the etrackrecords.com site. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next month.